Welcome to another EVA equipment video review. Today we're going to review this BeneFusion SP5. This is a relatively new device from Mindray. It's been a while since I wanted to put my hands on one of these, and finally I have. So I'm pretty excited about that. As you can see, the design is pretty similar to the B Brown pumps. Definitely this one has some differences though. So first of all, these units are chunkier. They're much more chunky, and they feel much more robust. I didn't obviously try to make any drop tests, but I can say that surely these Mindray pumps feel more robust. And one of the other differences is the 3.5 inches color display, which is pretty nice to look at, and the handle, which is not motorized on these units. So these may be a pro or a con. So on one side, well, it's definitely less fancy. On the other side, having one less automatism may lead to less problems maybe in the long run. One of the other interesting features is on the back. So as you can see, we have a universal power cord socket, which obviously everyone uses these power cords nowadays, and it's pretty easy to replace a power cord if you need with these units. Not that easy with the B Browns, because obviously you need they use a proprietary cable. Here there is on the back, now that we're looking at the back, we have this port here. Now it's covered because this unit is basically brand new, just came out of the box. Is an RS232 port, which has a lot of different uses in the Mindray ecosystem. So let's turn on the pump, which is the most interesting bit. So it lightens up all the buttons, which is pretty nice to use in a dark situation, and it guides you to starting an infusion. So we have our lovely syringe here, and we just need to open the handle, we need to open the clamp, pretty easy. All right, the door is magnetic, and as you can see, it automatically selects the syringe. Perfect. We can, so I tried it before, and obviously I tried some fake infusions, and it's asking if we want to use the last therapy parameters, which is pretty handy. You just need to press this button as displayed, and it goes back to what it was. So if now we decide instead to start a new infusion, we just press the clear button, and that's where we go on the menu. So here we have this error, which is obviously the fact that the pump is not connected to any power source. So we just silence that, and as you can see, and this turns off the alarm light, and obviously this starts continues to blink, but that's just to remind us that's going with the battery and not with the AC current, which is this little indicator here. So now we are in wait mode. So we have a lot of different modes. Let's see if we can perfect. All right, so In this mode, obviously, let's have a look at this before we change it. We can put just, you know, the weight of the animal, and then we select how many was those the amount of obviously of drug in the solution. So it's 2 milligrams. So let's do as if it was lidocaine. So let's say 20 milligrams in 1 ml, and then we want to give 2 mg per kg per hour, and this obviously will be the rate. So we can start that infusion now. As you can see, when the infusion starts, this line is green. If we stop it, we go in the pause mode, in which we can either modify the parameters if we press this button, the clear button, or we can resume the infusion by pressing the start button again. And then starting it again, we can go in bolus mode. So we can select the bolus rate, we can select the volume to be infused, and we can press this button as the instruction say. Obviously we can do a manual bolus as well, pressing the bolus button, but let's say we want to do an auto bolus. Obviously leaving the cap of the needle there doesn't really help. There is definitely no occlusion now. Perfect. So as we can see, when you go in bolus mode, everything is blue, and whereas when it's infusing is green, and when it's stopped is gray. So we have a lot of information on this screen. As you can see, we have the pressure, which is inside the line. We have the alarm, which we set the pressure at which the pump will start alarming, the volume that has been infused, the kind of the syringe, and all the information regarding the infusion. So let's go in the menu and let's have a look what we can tweak in this pump. So we can obviously change the occlusion pressure. It ranges from 150 to 975. We have some patient information. This is useful, especially if we use this pump in an ICU settings. We can select the mode. We have a lot of different modes. We have the rate mode, simple and pretty easy. Time mode, this is fairly common as well. The body weight mode, nowadays it's pretty common too. Micro infusion mode, this is a slow rate infusion kind of mode. Ramp up down mode, and a sequential mode, which is pretty interesting. So we can just select 2 infusions, and once the first one, the volume to be infused of the first one is finished, we can the pump starts automatically the second one, which is pretty cool. And then we have well, days prescription, we're not going to use that in veterinary medicine. We have general options, so we can change the keep the vein open rate. We can decide to use or not to use the drug library. I'm going to show you that in a sec. So as you can see now, this line appeared here, which is the drug, so we can just select which kind of drug we're infusing and labeling the syringe driver, which is pretty handy, especially if we have multiple infusions going on at the moment. We can change the weight unit. We can change the unit of pressure between millimeters of mercury on kilopascal, or bar, psi, and so that's pretty. It's very very complete settings. So we have an auto lock time, so we can select how long do we want after how much time we want the pump to auto lock. We have the possibility to select also the reminder time, which is pretty handy. That's pretty good. And then we have we can decide how much time before the end of infusion we want the pump to start alarming. And then we have the commonly used syringes. Obviously, if you don't use some of these, you can just deselect them. We have the system options. We can change the sound, we can change the volume, we can change the contrast, which is pretty good. Obviously, it can be really really bright, so look at the difference. This is incredible. And then we have system date and time, language, night mode. Night mode is pretty handy if we are using this pump in an ICU setting, you know, and during night time we don't really you can set a time interval for night, so obviously during that time the contrast will be decreased, so the pump won't be as bright as during the day, which is pretty good. And then we have the wireless LAN setting, which this pump doesn't have at the moment. As you can see, obviously it's not ready, but we can buy one with the wireless module, which is pretty handy if you use the all the Mindray ecosystem, so that you can keep an eye on all your infusions from a central station. That's pretty good. Obviously we have some information regarding the pump. We have a history record, so you have everything that you change in the pump or whatever you've done with the pump, even turning on and off. It's all recorded, so that whatever happens, you can just go back. If something happens, you can just go back and have a look on what happened. And then nurse call, obviously we won't use that in veterinary medicine. So I think at the end, in the end this pump is very good. I think definitely it's one of the best pump on the market at the moment. I think it's definitely worth giving it a try and see if it fits on your environment. I think it's pretty amazing, and I think I would definitely suggest one of these pumps. It's really good. So I think that's pretty much all for today. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, and thank you very much for watching.